Y'all, I'm about to put y'all in my business. let's get into it. Let's really get into it. Now, this is dumb, right? I'm just being honest, y'all. Can I be honest with y'all? Okay. It just wasn't clicking. Wasn't clicking, Steven. Wasn't clicking. Hey you guys, it's your girl Arbeilla Nichole, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you guys a little vloggy vlog. So y'all, I'm not even gonna hold you. It's evening time. There's not much of a vlog today. I really spent my time writing my book and also writing writing a poem that I really wanted to express myself. I was thinking about something that happened to me the other day, an experience that I had, and I was so shocked. You know, I was so shocked about the experience. Some of the things that were said to me had never been said to me before, and I remember something that somebody told me a while ago, and as I was reading that, it came back up. And you know, sometimes, y'all, I'm about to put y'all in my business. Let's get into it. Let's really get into it. Now, I usually say this type of tea time for YouTube, but for TikTok, but I feel like this is a YouTube moment, so I'm not going to share this on TikTok. This is strictly going to be on YouTube. So I was getting to know this guy, and we had stopped talking. If you went to my TikTok, you saw that we had stopped talking, but he reached back out, and it was a misunderstanding on his part. And so I was like, okay, you know, he apologized, let's move forward, let's continue to talk. And we did just that. However, as we continued to talk, the differences of us became so prominent. The things that he's into doesn't really align. Well, not even the things that he's into. The mindset that he has concerning the things that he's into just really doesn't align with the way that I think. And to be honest, that's not necessarily an issue for me, but it became an issue when he tried to insinuate the way of his thinking is the correct way, and that's when it became an issue. I just noticed that every time we talked about a certain topic, or you know, some current event or religion or something like that, it's like he was, to him I was so argumentative, but to me he was argumentative. I would state my piece, and then he would try to like combat what I'm saying, and then he'll say stuff like, one day I'm gonna learn that he's always right, you know. And it just put a negative taste in my mouth. It slowly started to put a negative taste in my mouth, but I was still willing to figure out how to maneuver that, you know, as we go forth in getting to know each other. I was still willing to maneuver that, because that, to me, that was like a small portion, because I'm more than that. I assumed that he was more than that, and I was hoping that we'll find a way to communicate when it comes to certain topics. But yeah, when it just came to certain topics, y'all, it just wasn't clicking. Wasn't clicking, Steve. Wasn't clicking. And so what happened? Oh, so he likes academics. I personally don't know anything about academics except for what I see on social media, and I know that sometimes social media can exaggerate things, you know, can make it seem like it's this way when it's really not. I believe hardly anything that I see on social media. So I just wanted to get his view from the things that I did see. One thing in particular was something that academics did to, or said to, a child, and I didn't know the backstory, so I wanted his point of view. And so he told me his thought process, and he was like, what he said wasn't wrong, but what he did was, because it was a child. But if he would have said it to a grown man, you know, it would have been fine, because apparently, like, that's what they do in those type of rooms that they be in or whatever. Like, they go back and forth and like banter and all of that, and he shouldn't have said it to a child. And essentially, y'all, we said the same thing. I said what he said was wrong, and then he was like, no, he didn't. What he said wasn't wrong. It's who he said it to was. And like, he was so like, I had to say exactly what he wanted in order for it to make sense. It's Editing RB here, and I just wanted to add this part. I don't know if y'all remember from probably like 2 vlogs ago when I was at the hospital and I was on the phone with someone, and I was cutting their part out, and we were talking about Young Miami. That was him. And he was sharing his disdain for Young Miami, for Carisha. And I was saying, oh, I like her. I like her personality, you know. And of course I took his part out so y'all couldn't hear what he was spewing out of his mouth. But he had so much passion about not liking Carisha. And what did I say? Oh, okay, I understand. But I like Carisha. Call me a red flag, but I like her, you know? Even like playing with it, because it wasn't that serious to me. We like who we like. We don't like who we don't like. And that's just that. And so when this conversation came up and we started talking about somebody that he liked, and I said something that went against his feelings towards this particular person, it became a problem. Now I'm combative. Now I'm this. Now I'm that. Now I'm aggressive. Now I act like a man. And he has to raise his voice. No, you don't have to raise your voice. You didn't do that when it came to Carisha. Why? Because it was something that I liked and something that you didn't like. You stated your piece. And what did I do? I said, okay, and we moved on. You couldn't do the same. You couldn't offer me the same, I wouldn't even say the same type of grace, just the same type of conversation, and then try to make it seem as if it was my fault and that I come off this way all the time. 2 same situations. 2 people controlling the conversation, and we see how that went. So I just wanted to add that part in there. They said, don't let these men or just people in general like try to make it seem like you're this type of person when you are not. Try to make it seem like you're an angry Black woman just because they don't know how to have a conversation and you both don't agree about something. And in essence, we did agree about what he said. We both agreed. It's just because I didn't use the right wording that turned him off. So, yeah, just wanted to add that part in there. Let's get back to the vlog. Saying the exact same thing. And then he did this whole bit like words are important, which they are. I do believe words are important. I still don't believe how I said it was incorrect, but to him it was. And y'all, it just became a thing. Like, it became a whole thing. So then he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna call you back. And I was like, okay. Well, when we was on the phone, he was just like, I don't understand why you get so mad, and when you get so mad, you get so aggressive and da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, no, I don't. Like, I'm listening to him say these things, and I'm just like, that's not even who I am as a person. And I told him this prior before. I said, I really don't say much because it seems like every time I say something, whether it's getting to know somebody, platonic or relationship, it's like I have such a dominant presence that I can just say sit, and it sounds like I'm being aggressive when I'm really not. And I said people have a hard time getting past that and really seeing my heart. I'm telling him all of this, like trying to be open and vulnerable, because I'm normally not open and vulnerable, y'all. I'm normally not, like, I don't play, like, y'all, when I say like I'm just to myself, I'm so secretive. I just don't, I don't do it. So I'm telling him all of this so he knows this. And then he texts me and basically was just like, he was like, he's fire, I'm gas, and we don't mesh. And he just said a whole bunch of stuff in the text message. And after I paused, I read it, and then I paused because I wasn't going to respond back to him, because I'm like, y'all, can I be real with y'all? I was like, F this shit. I really don't give a, like, that's the first thing that came to my mind, because I'm like, this is dumb, right? I'm just being honest, y'all. Can I be honest with y'all? Okay. And so, but then I paused, and then I just remember somebody had said to me that the person that's for me is going to have to go to God to get to me. That the man that is for me, they're going to be able to understand my heart, understand my mind, and simply because they went to God. Not because of anything that I've done, not anything that I said, but they went to God, and God strategically showed them how to love me. This is what this person said to me. And I always put it in the back of my head, and I kind of forgot about it. But when that happened the other day, that came up in my spirit, and I was like, you know what, I want to write a poem about it. Kind of like a, because when so after he texted me that, and I paused, and the Lord reminded me of that message, I text him back, I understand. And I didn't say all this to him, but as I'm saying I understand, no matter what I say, no matter what I did, it would have never worked because he did not go to God about me. He never understood my heart, the way that I did things, the way that I operated, because he did not go to God to get a true understanding about who Arbeilla is. And so when he said all of that, I was like, oh, it makes sense. I truly understand. And that's all I text back. And so I got out my pen, not necessarily my pen, I got out my phone, I got in my notes, and I started to write a poem. And this poem was really how I felt. It spoke to so many things that were said. It spoke to the guy, you know. And I used him as inspiration. Honestly, he really loved guns. And so I'm gonna just read it to y'all. I know y'all probably saw it already if y'all follow me like on other platforms. I'm unfigureoutable. What does that even mean? It means you can't size me up with the shallow perception. Can't take an aim and fire based on assumption. To know me, you gotta see through God's scope, because my identity ain't up for open carry. It's locked in safety, chambered in truth, secured with the clip loaded with purpose. I had to keep it cocked just in case the world tried to take me out. See, I know who I am, and I refuse to be disarmed. No silencing shots, no forced reloads. I don't misfire, I don't jam. I am not like anyone else. No copies, no blanks, no second rounds, just me. Unfigureoutable. You gotta go to God to get me. You gotta go to God to understand me. You have to go to God to love me. So I wrote that in regards to how I felt in that moment, because, and it's so crazy because I remember having a conversation with him, and he was talking about like how he saw me, and it was so crazy because I'm like, that's not who I am. I'm not this person that you're trying to make me out to be. And I made another post, and I was like, listen, the moment a man starts to describe this person that you're not in a negative light, let him walk away. You're not the one for him. He's not the one for you. Let him walk away. And I should have did that the first time he was saying who he thought I was, and it did not align to who I am. And if I can give any advice of any single ladies that's watching me and that's in the same boat as I am, because I'm not gonna lie, y'all, like, I want to be in love. Like, I believe I'm ready for a relationship, and I was willing to. I'm not looking for a perfect man. I'm looking for a pure man. I'm looking for an honest man. I'm looking for a loving man. I'm looking for a praying man, right? And so I understand in that there are some things that I may have this perfect picture of what I want, and sometimes it doesn't always come in that light, in that package. And there are some things that you may have to work towards with when you're in a relationship, or there are some things that you might have to not have, but then there are some things that you will have that are also beneficial. Like, it's kind of like catch-22 in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm willing, I said this to a person before, I said that the perfect man that I want doesn't exist. And he said, but your soulmate does. And in that moment when he said that, I just immediately, you know, thought like, man, I have, you know, so many people have an image of what they want and what they desire, some of what they need, but then there's that person that is for you, that has some of what you want, much of what you need, and circumference of what you desire. And so I just thought about all of that, and so I decided to put my heart in that quick little poem, just to get over that, you know, to move past that, and to say what was in my heart in that moment. And I did that, and I feel good about it, and yeah, I'm over it. Like, let's go. We got other fish to fry, and that's that. So today, y'all, I don't know if I said this, but I've been working on my book today, and then I also did some cooking. So we did meal prep. My cousin just asked me, how would I describe her? Ooh, I'm gonna call y'all back, y'all. All right, y'all, so I'm back. I forgot what I was talking about. I think I was there talking, actually. It's time for dinner now. That food should be cooled down, and I should put it up. But y'all, I'm about to end this vlog. Well, no, I'm gonna let you guys see me meal prep. So watch that and then come back. Seeing the world living beyond it. This girl's a girl's name, yeah. My eyes are slowly closing. No that day, no corner. Hold on again for the Lord that will bring. Baby, somebody likes you. That you never ever fall to your press. Did you even think of me? Did you mean it? I'm not yours, so many flaws, and it's you. Just for you. I'll be yours forever. I'm yours to be. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the meal prep. I thought I had more string beans than I had I didn't. So I was gonna use that kale as a salad, but I was like, let me just saute it up and make it like greens. But totally forgot that when you cook down any type of greens, the portion is small. So but it's still fine. The portion of it'll all balance itself out and it'll work out well. I doubled up on my protein, so it's good. All is well. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I'm missing, y'all? I'm trying to finish this book, y'all. I really am trying to finish it before it's time for me to start work, which I believe, do I start work next week, y'all? We gotta look at this. Oh no, not next week, but the following week is my first day. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm back wearing my glasses for a while. Give the contacts a rest. I'm going to drink the rest of this wine, and then I am going to have dinner. I was going to have my last meal prep from last week. However, I decided that I just want some cereal, so that's what we're going to have. And I'll just have the meal prep when I wake up in the morning. I'll just have that for that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.